Look at this, dude. This is the most disgusting car I've ever touched. So Alec and I are thinking about an expansion tank and a coolant overflow. How all the car systems run is there's an expansion tank, which basically gives you some air gap. So when the water gets hot in the radiator, instead of just pushing it right out the cap, it has a place to expand and contract. So you build, like this is gonna be an expansion tank with a radiator cap, because this is a completely sealed cap. There's an O-ring here, so this is a pressure relief cap, it's solid. This will be the radiator cap, which puts it at the highest point of the system. All the air will be pushed into the expansion tank. The expansion tank will have this air gap here to separate the air and the water, and then allow the water to expand and contract. And then from the bottom, we'll go back into the radiator system so that it's just unaerated, good fresh water going back into the system. But next to it needs to be your overflow. So that's where if your car does get too hot, pushes water out of the radiator cap, which is gonna be right here, then it'll go to the overflow. So it's a tight area. We had a couple options, either put it all the way in the back, then you're running lines all the way to the back to the front, or fit it somewhere in here, which it seems like there's a lot of room, but we got to remember, right? We're trying to keep everything behind this brush zone here. So we're trying to figure out exactly where to fit all this in and the direction to run the lines. I can probably angle grind the bung a little bit so it's upwards. This can run underneath here.
I mean, if anything, it can swoop right here, down here, and then under. I think there's no space here.
Room in there.
I'm okay with that.
That's better.
Long enough that you can flop it around.
And then a 90 will face this up, and then it'll be close to this. Tab off of that. But I guess if this is at the same level, then that's okay. You know, just keep this
Right.
But the other option is to go here, which is fully in this, because right now it's like this.
Right.
This stops here, but if we go here, then the whole thing could be taller.
Yeah, but that won't fit.
It'd have to be like this. Let's see.
Yeah. That fits? Looks crazy, but okay.
In here. And we could drill this out and use like a stud.
Yeah, a little rubber guy in there that holds it up.
Yeah. But then it just needs
something to hold it. Still a tab.
This would be here.
Then you're making a huge deal here, or off here, or something.
Through there.
And you're thinking the bung would be like this?
No, just bung straight on there with the 150.
What about those super sleek dash 10s? What's the height on those?
1/4 inch lower.
So it's not much.
Right. Plans changed 10 times right now in the last 15 minutes of planning. But you do this for good reason. We're gonna be the ones working on the car. We don't like to have to, if you wanna work on this one thing, we don't wanna have to take off this and this and this and this and this. There's one perfect spot for something that you can have it be where you don't have to work or touch anything else to work on the thing you wanna work. The fuel system, all that's independent. You don't have to do one thing to do the other. So trying to keep it like that. But it requires a lot of freaking thinking. We're trying to place the radiator cap. Where is that going to go in this? But we're doing all this because we're stubborn and we don't want to run lines to the back and we want to save weight on lines. Yeah. So we'd probably want this to sit on top. Yeah. Yeah. We could just notch the shroud if we had to, you know?
Sure.
Round it a little bit. What do you think about that hot shit on the wiper motor? With silicone sleeve.
It'd be fine.
I don't know, I don't think wiper motors are meant to take temperature.
What if you put a
45?
45.
Yeah, that'd work. And go up. Oh, but what about how it rotates?
The wiper?
The motor, you know, it moves here.
Yeah, that's good.
And then this here, and this. Where do I put this shit? It's nice and tidy though. Damn, that thing's hidden now. Yep, that's the way. The fact that we put that super low fitting and all that just makes it safe. That much better. Yeah. I don't think it would be a problem though.
Yeah, you could do one 90 tab this way. One off of here.
Yeah, like this. Boom, boom. Weld it to the can. One off of there. That's sturdy as hell for that.
With the stud.
Yeah.
And then the one.
Dude, I don't even think it needs a stud with that. Because then, yeah, you can unbolt it from the fan shroud. It's not welded. Tab right here, super close. That can still run around the back. This with the 45 right here. That comes out. You can still get to these to check the torque on all this. These can be close together. And then probably that would just need, because then we have 1, 2, 3.
Will you do a single strap in the middle?
No, probably one.
I was thinking
one
like
in the back.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So make it
Like this. So
yeah,
it's like
make
flat.
it flat.
Yeah. Cool. That's the one. Only took 1 hour.
If anybody yells at me, I'm gonna tell them I don't care.
All right. That grumpy blonde man behind me is Mike von D. He pitched to me, hey, I'll help you weld that cage. Because, as a lot of you guys know, I am not the best at TIG welding steel, especially around a tube. But Mike says it's mostly because I use a foot pedal for my TIG welder. And this freaking straight up badass over here uses the finger button. So a lot of you guys even commented like, get this man a freaking TIG button. So that's this here. You see he's literally just welding with just his freaking hands. So he offered, I took him up on his offer. Of course, he's much better at TIG welding than I am. And he brought his own TIG welder with the TIG button. So I'm gonna probably take a couple of passes too once we get this thing going and he's all worn out and tired, and then I'll probably end up buying myself one of those TIG buttons. But yeah, thank you, Mike. Roll hoop now, dude.
I need to be careful. Just like that, it's a bolt-in, dude.
Yeah.
See a couple extra cuts, and now we can just pull the whole thing out.
Make your life so much easier to weld this on the ground. Okay, what we have done is remove the A-pillars, remove the roof bar. Mike welded around here, and he said there's enough room to weld these 2 joints when the A-pillars are in the car, and remove the hoop so that he can weld it on the bench. Be a lot easier than fighting it because there's a lot of joints, and it needs to get the tops of these bars welded, so might as well do everything on the table. Should make my life a lot easier. Mike had already gotten to it before I got back, but he also removed the door bars, and that was kind of the start of it all. Get the door bars out, get the A-pillars out, remove the hoop. He's doing the welding on the hoop right now. So we'll be able to fully weld this all the way around, which should make his life much easier. He's obviously a lot more comfortable here than upside down around the back of a tube where you can't really see. And same thing with the door bars. It's obviously gonna be a lot easier welding these on the bench, and then the A-pillars, be able to weld most of those around. Then we reassemble it. Then we got to figure out how to make it all happy with the boxes. And one thing, and a couple of people told me too, this glue is only good for like 400 degrees, basically. So when we're welding here, you're gonna weld a little bit, cool it off, weld a little bit, cool it off, bounce back and forth, and really just kind of take our time when we're welding it to the boxes. It's the only way we have to do it that way. We can remove the A-pillar ones, but at least the hoop, those need to be bolted into the car before we weld the thing in. Just the nature of the placement of all the bolts and nuts. Okay, this thing is welded all the way around. We double, triple checked. A couple little tiny holes, but all fixed, all welded up. That was a lot nicer. I mean, I didn't do it, but watching Mike weld it looked a lot nicer, that's for sure. Next up, door bar. TIG welded cages, man. Whew, it's good, so good. Door bars are all welded up. Working on the A-pillar now. That's the dash tab he's welding right there. Just looked right at it. We'll do the headache bar spreader on both of the A-pillars, and then eat some lunch. Little aluminum tab. It's crazy how long this takes. But this little tab is gonna go here. The coolant tank right up against it with the cap on the bottom. Boom. Okay, cage is going back in. Here we freaking go. Mike just slid it right in. I guess I'll get these rear bolts started over here. It looks like it's lined up pretty good. Yeah. This is where Mike and his big button shines right here. Now it's actually all placed in. Now it's time to burn the hard ones. So the goal right now is to weld around this as far as we can, this and this, and this as far as we can. Then we'll cut the tacks on the A-pillars, move them in, unbolt this, unbolt that, shift the whole cage forward and down, and weld around the top of the A-pillars there. That is the strategy. Hell yeah! I mean, hell yeah! Look at that.
Yeah, this is a.
Oh, dude, this touches the outer skin of the, like we had
That's
to,
just the skin.
just the skin. Yeah, we cut the outer.
Sell this to somebody who doesn't have a totally.
Oh yeah, it has to be a carbon roof, and you got to cut it to paper. That's it, of course. But that was the goal. Like I cut my roof out before they came to scan it, so that they could put the cage up there. There's not a lot of room in this thing, you know. Ratchet strapped together and burning the tops. Hell yeah.
There it goes.
Ah, dipped it, dude. We have decided to pull the door bar out and see about welding this lower box out of the car because it's a little on the tight side there. Yeah, we might do some box trimming. Gonna put it on the table and figure that out. So Mike was saying we cut this, weld it all up, put it back in the car, tack this, pull it back out, weld the box together, then put it back in the car. That's what you said, right? That's what you get for doing a bolt-in cage, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Mike is welding around the back of the other door bar. I just fit the first one in. This is cut. These are now 2 pieces. The door bar fits back up into its spot. Now I just gotta line these plates up, bolt it together. Then we can tack the cut plate to the other plate, bring it back out, weld it on the bench. Then it goes in for the final time. Yeah. Getting down to it, almost there. Pushing through, almost done. Got the other door bar, got the base plate there, refit, tacked, welded, removed, put back in. This side, completely done. Welded all the way around. It was really the right way to do it so that we can weld all the way around the back of this tube. Otherwise, there's gonna be no way. So that's why we removed it, cut that section, welded it back on. Looks great. Look at that, this maybe right here is my favorite weld right there. Damn, dude. Almost there, Mike, almost there. Welding through the door latch. He's looking through the door striker hole to weld around the back of it with his arm through the speaker pocket.
Yeah, then I can't see and then it works. Get it? I'll do this slide back.
Look at this thing, dude.
Yeah. Everything worked out pretty well.
We'll see. I think so. It's 90% of the way there. These two are going to be kind of joined together with a flat plate with some holes in it. And then that'll get mounted into the car. This one is done other than the mount. This one I need to find the clocking for the lid because this goes to the radiator, and then I need to do one more dash 10 bung to this. Then it's done, so probably halfway done.
Yeah, that's a lot. 90%? Gee, that's a lot of 10%.
Oh, sorry. The lid needs to run to that. So the lid will be straight.
This goes to here.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Okay, yeah. And then
This
is
one at this angle-ish. So we just gotta figure what angle do we want that at. Pretty freaking cool that we got this thing going. Finally, it's been sitting on the bench. I don't do a whole lot of round stuff like that, so never really had too many of a reason. But obviously for these coolant tanks that I've been working on like pretty much all day, lots of interruptions. I got interrupted by Alexi and his crazy Lexi mount welding deal projects here. Lexi mount's that piece that we use to get with the 360 cam to get the video game feel. So we're always working on that, constantly doing stuff and trying to better it. And we're going to be working on one for the C8 when the time comes. But that's what stopped me short. So I didn't get to finish the coolant tanks. I just put them in the lathe and used the Scotch-Brite on them, and damn, this looks really, really good. Alec positioned this bung. This will go back to the radiator. And I welded that bung on the radiator too. This tank, actually I'll go walk over there, show you guys. Coolant tank here, welded that bung on the radiator right there. Other coolant tank is pretty much done, other than mounting it together and cleaning it up. That one's done. This piece is all welded, you guys saw that. That's the cap for this. So all this is in the middle of, in process. I was really hoping to finish today, but it's okay. I will finish on the next time I go to work on this thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. It was cool to have a different perspective where you guys can see Alec and I talking, because I don't really like use my GoPro when him and I are discussing and game planning. So you got to see a little bit of the insight on the game planning side of things, which is also why this takes so long. We talk about it for 45 minutes and then start doing something, and then slight derailment and change a plan and change a tab and maybe a change of height, and then, then you start. So just, that's the fabrication process, and that's the process that it takes to make a race car easy to work on. That's the key, easy to work on. Well, see you guys next week. Hell freaking yeah.